Hi guys, it's Luna, and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about My Hero Academia. Why? Because I just finished it. I'd watched it up until a point, but literally when they started the arts festival thing, you know what I'm talking about, when they did the song, as soon as they started that whole arc, I was like, nah fam, I'm not here for that. So I kind of dropped out. But then I started rewatching it, and listen, my life is filled with weird, unexplainable coincidences that are just ridiculous, honestly. And there's something psychic about me, I can just tell.
Yep, that's me.
My boyfriend doesn't believe, but I do.
Okay.
And for some reason, usually I start rewatching things or start looking back into shows and shit like that, and then it'll be like, oh, this is getting a second season, or this is getting a new season, or you're just watching this thing when it's about to get a new reboot, and it's happened a week or so later, probably less. It's freaky. This was the exact same thing because I realized that the new season for the actual anime is coming this month, and I was like, oh, cool. I'm psychic. I'm just gonna leave it alone though.
Yep, that's me.
My point is, I rewatched the series, and boy, was I irritated. But also, I get it.
Hey guys, I brought a beach for ya.
Anyways, let me stop rambling and actually get into what I'm not really feeling about this show. Now, if you don't know what My Hero Academia is, it's a anime. It also has a manga, but I'm talking about the anime right now. And it's basically about a world filled with heroes. People that have these strange abilities, i.e. quirks, that basically give them weird superpowers. Now, quirks are kind of weird because they could be from something that's like a Superman-like ability, like shooting beams from your body, or shooting fire, or making explosions, or something like that. Or it could be more of a physical thing, like having a tail, looking like a frog, having several arms, being able to grow different limbs, being a tape dispenser. There's a lot of different ones, alright? They range in weird ways. But specifically, this show takes place with a kid named Midoriya, and Midoriya basically ends up inheriting one of the biggest, best superheroes' power because that superhero's a dumb motherfucker and fucked up his side, and now his side's all fucked up. So now he can't be that superhero anymore. So then he had to eat his hair and then pass it on. And he also had to go to the most prestigious hero academy because of course. And it's just stupid. But also you get the general gist of it. If you really want to know, there's trailers. Watch the first episode, honestly. You'll probably understand what the fuck is going on better. Hell, watch the first 2 episodes and you should be good, in my opinion. But at this point, you know if you know. Now, while I don't have a lot of problems with this show because it is reminiscent of shows I actually did like or do like Naruto. Obviously, I fucking love Naruto, or just basic magical girl animes with powers and shit like that. Anyways, while I do actually really enjoy the show for the most part, well, I enjoyed most of the show. There is one part of the show that kept bothering me, and it mainly had to do with the main character Midoriya and that guy that Midoriya ate his hair, All Might. Now, All Might's the #1 hero, but this man has acted like nothing of the sort. You know, one of the characters, Stain, kept talking about how All Might is worthy as if he's a true hero, and I'm like, All Might has, since the beginning of the show, been as vain and dumb and shitty as any bad guy, honestly. Well, let me not go that far, but any of the children that he was supposed to be watching. A lot of them want to do it for wholesome reasons, some want to do it for spiteful reasons, some want to do it because they just want to help people. I think the majority of them have that feeling. But obviously some want to do it for money and fame and to be cool and to look cool, because obviously if you're a fucking hero saving people, you're gonna get clout on, obviously. But honestly, even day one, All Might has just been this fucking Rick loser that only cared about being flashy, about what made him look good, about not being the symbol of peace, but being up his own ass. Hell, even the whole symbol of peace thing really is stupid. He acts like he has to be the symbol of peace, as if the other heroes are not shit. And it's like, that would be a slap in the face, in my opinion. If somebody's just like, I need to be the number one hero. Like, nigga, who am I? Like, am I chopped liver? Like,
that's because men get no respect.
I know I don't have your power, but all of us together can be of use and significance. Sure, you can be up the main bad guy, but who's going to save the people while you're doing that? Who's going to protect them while you're doing that? You can't protect them all. And even from the beginning, I don't care how much Midoriya idolizes him, he never did that. All Might can't protect everybody. Just because he saved a bunch of people doesn't mean that there weren't hella people that he didn't save, that he couldn't get to, because they were too far away, because they weren't in sight. Hell, the people that he had to save probably weren't evacuated. What about the people who were evacuated? Who you think evacuated them? Wasn't All Might. He was fighting the big guy and helping the people who didn't have time to evacuate. The people that have to communicate to him that someone's in trouble. The people who have to fix the building and make sure people aren't fucking homeless afterwards. The people who have to give people aid. Hell, now thinking about it, there's a whole other side of the fucking world that probably doesn't even know who All Might is other than some weird superhero in the Japan type region. There are probably islands and places that have never seen this man before, but he's a symbol of peace for everybody. Maybe they have like Copter Man where they are that saves them all the time. All Might doesn't save everybody. Everyone acts like he does, and it's like, no, he doesn't. Listen, I get the whole like, oh, you know, we're heroes and we need someone as like symbol of peace. I get it. But this is my opinion. That's dumb. You should have everybody working as a collective, or have like 5 people who could be the symbol of peace, at least 5. You can have like a number 1, but have at least 5 people are relying on. At least know that there's a general group that's working together in that sense. Because you have Endeavor, but like nobody really likes him. And people rely on All Might way too much for them to ever even think about relying on Endeavor. So I get and understand what they're doing. It doesn't mean that I can't think that's dumb. And I think that maybe All Might's not really the right person. Because to be fair, as you see when he got his ass beat, I wouldn't say he got his ass beat, but he almost got his ass beat by One for All. You can have all the strength in the world, but if you're a dumb bitch, that kind of goes out the window, because someone could be stronger, someone could be more strategic. And at the time, One for All, they realized he's still hurt, he don't got that much left. Like, I might win this fight. Also, it's hilarious to me that All for One got arrested. I don't know why, it's just really funny to me. And that's not to say that, like, no one works with All Might and nobody helps him out. When they were saving Bakugo, there was a whole team. When they were saving the little girl, there was a whole team. Well, All Might wasn't involved in that one like that, but you get what I'm trying to say. There's a team of people who are helping save people. And that's kind of what I mean by, like, people should be acting more or less that everybody is a symbol of peace. All heroes collectively are a symbol of peace. Because low-key, all the stuff without All Might kind of went a bit better than the stuff with All Might. Even when they were saving the little girl, I feel like that plan went a lot better. The damage wasn't as bad. Sure, a lot more heroes got hurt, but this sounds really bad. There are a lot of fucking heroes. The world of heroes is kind of oversaturated, low-key. People are just fighting for the top in the sense of fame and glory. But when it comes to decent heroes that can do their job and do it well, there's a good chunk of them. And sure, people got hurt, but even then there were a lot of rookies out there. There are a lot of people that maybe only their second, third time ever doing something like this. Plus there were the police and whatnot. There were kids there when they were saving the little girl. So that might have, held them back because they have to protect the kids as well. But when they were going to rescue Bakugo, even though that went okay, honestly, all the stuff that happened before that, all the terrible decisions they made when it came to the kids and their safety before that led up to Bakugo getting stolen, and then them finally collectively going in and sussing out the source of the problem, or all collectively protecting the children instead of sending like 4 people in a remote location that honestly could be found in many ways. Someone could have been following them, someone could have been listening in to a conversation. Any of that could have happened. Last time the villains attacked at that point, people were jamming the signal so nobody could get a message out. Like, they're not stupid. Just going to a place and not telling anybody isn't going to stop them. And having such few pro heroes compared to how many actual children there was, it just wasn't really a good idea. Like, after the first incident, they should have just shut down the entire school and not let anybody in. But they're like, no, let's keep having these things. Let's show that we're strong. Let's do all of these things, but not really fix the fucking problem. And I get it, it's complicated and whatnot, but I have the free will to feel that that was kind of a dumb decision. I could have thought of at least 5 different ways, and I'm not trying to ramble on for too long, but I could have thought at least 5 different ways of how they could have handled it a bit better than what they did. But then again, obviously hindsight is 2020, and this is a show, so, you know. In short, so I'm not here all day and you're not here all day. Even though All Might is a symbol of peace and I get it, they rely on him a little bit too much, and it feels like that ends up being their downfall time and time again. And I'm not sure if this just started happening or this has been happening, because, you know, I didn't watch like the movies, so maybe in the movies it explains that this has been a new type of thing. Like, before, all the plans where All Might just took over, or he just did what he usually does and we're just in the background like shadow characters with no faces. Maybe those plans worked before, but they're not working anymore. And Night Eye was the only person that I thought had some common sense, in the sense of, he told them, hey, don't engage. I know you want to save some people, don't engage if you don't know about the situation, or just come to me. When it came to helping that girl, he really put everything together, talked it out with everybody so they can discuss what's happening, asked the people, also asked the kids, also figured everything out. Because those kids been wildin', to be fair. And honestly, I get why he made the kids a part of it, because also, like, he knew for a fact those kids would go after him individually if they didn't go with them. So at least he had a plan for protecting the kids, which I still have like a bit of a problem with, of taking kids something so serious. But as I said before, I don't want to ramble on. There's just a lot of problems I have with a lot of these decisions made by these adults, and some of these decisions made by these kids, and I can't even be mad, because especially with the decisions made by the kids, they were kind of influenced by the decisions that the adults make. It kind of was like monkey see, monkey do type shit. And I'm like, yeah, I get why you didn't tell them this really important information, and you went and made this plan that ended up backfiring or could have gotten you killed. The adults kind of do some stuff like that, and they don't think out these problems as well either. Or at least they weren't for a minute there. There are so many superheroes and sidekicks and agencies that do the everyday work that All Might cannot get to and couldn't get to before. Hell, there are even people like Inferno, what's his name? Endor? I'll show who I'm talking about. There's even people like him who are still doing the big stuff while you're out doing something else. A lot of this show is talking about, and even they made a whole song at the end of the last season about how heroes aren't just people who are strong, but they're all different types of heroes. But even in the flashback of that song, they barely showed any of the heroes that represent that. There's literally a whole character, like a nurse character, but she's a great example. Without her, Midoriya would have been nothing. Because All Might, let me explain why I have such a beef with All Might. Because it goes into this, by the way. All Might had every opportunity to train Midoriya himself, but he pushed him to go to the Hero Academy because reasons. The whole point of All Might being a teacher, because he was going to be a teacher at UA, specifically so he can find a successor. But he already found his successor, so he didn't even need to be a teacher anymore. He should have took the time to personally train Midoriya, not to go to the Hero Academy when he was not fucking ready, and he knew he wasn't ready, to train him on his own so he can get ready to then go maybe the next year, when his body is at least partly used to this shit. But no, because he wanted him to go to this academy, because he wanted him to look good, because he wanted him to have every resource that he can't use because he can barely use his quirk, he was not even thinking about this boy's well-being. He was just trying to get him where he needs to get him so he can look as flashy as All Might wants him to. The character, I told you, this character has literally the ability to heal people, right? Or it's like a whole complicated thing around it. It's not complicated, but it's specifics. Like, she can only heal them if they have, like, the energy to be... They explain it better than I could, but she can heal people, is the gist of her power. The amount of time she's had to heal him since he got there, probably a week after, maybe less, is ridiculous. And he knew he would break his bones, throwing, hitting, punching, doing anything that he would need to get into this academy. He knew what this boy would have to go through if he wanted to keep up with his classmates, when really All Might could have taught him everything he needed. And Midoriya's already smart, so when it came to like schooling, homeschooling is an option. Or even then, going to a regular school and then applying for UA after. Or just having a recommendation from All Might or something. Because really all the heroes, except for like a few, and none of them include All Might, only really a few actually act like heroes. And sometimes even that flip-flops from acting like a hero to acting in some weird self-interest thing. Because yes, it does give a genuinely decent depiction of how heroes actually act. Obviously, you can't just be a hero all the fucking time and just be like, I'm gonna save people and it's fine. You're gonna have to worry about collateral damage, who's there, who will get hurt, what's the safest thing to do, strategy, all of that. You have to also think about money and what's going to benefit you and the people who are working under you and the business side of it. That's fine. But when it matters and when that's not a part of the conversation, like when there are kids that could die, and instead of you sucking up your pride and doing what's right for the kids, you're just like, no, I want to look like I'm still a symbol of peace because I can't let that go. And no other adult really tells you no. Safety first. And this is my last point on this because like I've been editing for a while and I'm tired and I don't want to do all this editing. I ramble on for way too long. Just All Might asking Midoriya to try to present himself at the sports festival. It's like, bruh, he's still breaking his limbs every time he uses his quirk. Like, he's not okay. This is not the time to try to push him to show himself as like a really great hero. He's hurting when he uses the power you gave him. He has like scars and shit. Like, he's not okay. Recovery Girl can't keep taping him back together. Maybe let him have a few years of training underneath his belt. Hell, if push comes to shove, All Might can literally recommend him anywhere in any agency and he'll get in. All Might tends to forget that he's All Might and that he literally can give Midoriya privileges that many others can't. And if he didn't want to like blow his cover, he could literally just be like, here are 4 students that I think would be great for your agency, and then just shove Midoriya in there. Like, he has good potential. My point is that was stupid. He needed way more training, and All Might from day one has been pushing him into moments like this where he is just not ready. And that's not even saying that because it's Midoriya or any of that. Really, any kid he would have given it to would not have been ready. Maybe physically they would have been able to somewhat control it, but even if he had given it to Bakugo, there's so many flaws in their thinking. They're kids, are you forgetting that? And with Midoriya's specific circumstances, it made it even worse. It made him look less intelligent to me and irresponsible and putting this child's safety in danger just to show off. And as I say, monkey see, monkey do, when Gentle Criminal was facing off against Midoriya, because Midoriya thought everything's gonna be fine, he's totally telling me the truth, he did not do the right thing, which was tell the adults what happened, call someone, stop the arts festival from going on and make sure everyone's safety is secured, including the girl you just saved. And there might still be people that are after her. Didn't even think about it because he's so worried about what makes him feel good, which is making her smile, than actually keeping her safe and knowing that no matter what, I did everything I could to make sure she was good. He's like, but I wanted to make her happy and my friends worked really hard. Your friends' work would be in vain if they were dead. All the work to make her smile would be in vain if somebody was using Gentle Criminal as a decoy and they went to the school, snuck in, took her, and left. And sure, Gentle Criminal has been escaping the law for a long time, but how do you know how he was doing it? It could have been the girl, it could have been some random third person we don't know about. He knew not enough information to make the decision that he made. But monkey see, monkey do. He did that. All Might makes stupid, irrational, in my opinion, irresponsible decisions, and so do many other adults in this show. Do you get my point? Sometimes I'm like, I get why they made the decision, but that doesn't mean that I'm happy that these characters are consistently stupid in some cases. Again, I get it. Hindsight, it's not like it's infuriating or really like I would say a really big flaw, because it's pretty consistent. It makes sense. And even given the circumstances, I can understand it in a way. It's just still irritating. Just because you know why or when something's happening, or even if it makes sense that's gonna happen, doesn't mean that you're gonna be happy about it, you know? When I was a kid, I knew I got in trouble, but I'm not excited about getting, a pop on my hand. Like, it's not a thing. But I still knew I did wrong. I just wasn't excited about the consequences or the result of that action. Anyways, I'm tired. I'm over it. The show's gonna get another season, so obviously that's more content for me. I might watch the movies if I feel like it. But overall, it's a pretty good show. It's just some things, I gotta talk about. It's just who I am. You guys know that. Anyways, I'll see you later. So tired.
We could have been stardust, same world but without us.